Right, we'll kick things off this podcast with this Man City Liverpool combined 11. Starting off a bit differently ahead of the big game.
I like it.
So we're going current squads, not necessarily current form, but current squads.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we'll start off with a keeper, which I thought was probably the hardest one.
Well, it was quite hard, yeah.
I couldn't. So I actually went through this, and I ended up picking Ederson.
I think you've got to go with Ederson personally because he is Brazil's number one.
And
or is it
also,
Alisson?
It's Alisson that's Brazil's number
So
one.
you've got to go for Alisson, sorry, because he is Brazil's number one.
I just think there's too many there's a mistake in Ederson. Ederson doesn't really make mistakes.
I funnily watched a video the other day actually on YouTube about Ederson, and is he actually overrated and overhyped? Because he has one of the lowest percentage to save ratios this season, and he averagely only has 3 shots like a game at him.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that Man City have lost or drawn, I think it is, 3 times this season where they haven't or he hasn't made a save in the game. And I think one of them was the Everton game when they drew 1-1 or 2 or whatever it was. He didn't make a save in that game. Yeah, he didn't make
that one where Damari Gray scored. That one.
That one. Yeah, that's
I remember
it.
that one.
big up Damari Gray.
We got to get him on. We got to get him on.
He'll love it.
So I would definitely say Alisson. And if you think when they brought in, everyone was like, "Who the hell is he?" And like in his first year, he won like the Champions League and then won the Premier League the year after. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Ederson's distribution is probably the best in the world from a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But I've put Alisson down because of his one-on-one shot stopping.
Yeah. Do you want a keeper that can take a free kick, or do you want a keeper that can save shots? I think you've got to go Alisson.
It's close though. It is very close.
The only way I decided Ederson is because Alisson does make mistakes. I don't really see Ederson make a mistake.
He doesn't really get
the
the ball.
Shot stopper. He's good on the ball.
Doesn't really get the ball, does he?
But Ederson is a massive part of the way Man City play football. He's not just a goalkeeper. He's a huge part of the way they play the game.
If you look at this season, Alisson has probably been... I know you said it's not on current form, but this season he's probably saved them numerous times.
Well, if you two have gone Alisson, I've been outvoted. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I did go on current form, but I can look at it from just an overall perspective. But yeah, I do think that if I was picking for a Champions League final tomorrow, obviously I know City pick him for the way his distribution, the way he plays. I get that, but if I was looking at like an all-star team, I would pick Alisson over Ederson. I think.
Fair enough. Alisson is in.
Alisson is in.
Goalkeeper. And then we'll go with right back, and we'll go to Andrew. Who have you got?
So I've gone with Kyle Walker. I think he beats Trent in. I just, Kyle Walker for me he's quick, he's athletic, he's a decent defender. I think he's a better player than Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not good at attacking, but for me, it's Kyle Walker.
Fair.
I'm a big Trent fan. I do like Trent, and I think this nonsense about he can't defend, I think it's nonsense. I think he can defend. I like Kyle Walker, but I do think if he didn't have his pace, he would be found out a lot more.
Yeah, but you could say if Trent didn't have his ball distribution, then it would be, if you take assets away from players, then they aren't going to be the same.
I mean,
if Trent couldn't pass, he'd be in League One.
Is that what you reckon? Yeah. What about Rico Lewis? We're not talking about Rico Lewis. Broken into the first team, kept Kyle Walker out of the team
for the future.
Kept Kyle Walker out of the team for a bit.
He's a good player, but not for me.
Not for you.
If we do this in a few years, maybe he'll be in there.
Mm.
But I went for Kyle Walker as well.
Yeah, I must admit, I was only just trying to make a bit of fucking talk. If I'm honest with you. I think Kyle Walker is the obvious pick there, isn't it? Yeah, I was just giving a couple of shout-outs.
We'll go to Baron then for your left back.
My left back? Well, considering that they just got rid of their left back, I'm going to have to go with Robertson, aren't I? You can't really. I mean, Man City got rid of Zinchenko, then they got rid of Cancelo, who's technically a right back, played him left back, was probably the best left back in the league for the last 18 months. obviously had an argument, and they shift him out straight away.
Technically, he's still there.
Well, yeah, but I don't think you can pick him.
Yeah. No.
So I think you've got to go Robertson, ain't you? Like, I think that's probably the most easiest pick,
Robertson.
isn't it?
Yeah,
in the
I
team.
picked Robertson, but I did want to say that Ake has been brilliant this season.
See, I wrote down Ake because I thought we was just on current form. Current form is Ake, but Robertson overall, he has a history, doesn't he? Like Champions League winner, you have to put Robertson overall. But yeah, on form, it would be Ake for me.
Yeah, but we all went overall. We all went Robertson. Yeah.
Yes. I think so. I think that's a correct call. This is going to be a bit more interesting, isn't it? The centre backs.
Yeah, I struggled
because I know you love Van Dijk.
I did put Van Dijk in. He's my first one.
Yeah, I think you've got to go Van Dijk, haven't you? I think what he's done for Liverpool. You think how shockingly they look defensively when he's not in the team. I mean, I never thought one man could make such a difference, defensively. But like when you think of Liverpool, you think of Alisson obviously in goal, and you think of Van Dijk, and you take one of them out of that team, and it's just like.
Do you think he's been found out a bit this season?
Yeah, he's not been great this season, but they don't have any better options. Liverpool.
I think he might still be a bit injured, and he had that knee injury that kept him out for a year. And you know how many players just don't really come back from that.
I think it was. I was listening to Paul Merson, and he was saying like a couple of years ago, Van Dijk had this aura. Like people would be on the ball, they'd look up, they'd see it was Van Dijk, and be like, "Oh, I'll whip that on." Now they're just like, "Well, it's Van Dijk."
Yeah. Oh no, I do agree. I do agree. He's nowhere near. He's nowhere near as good as he was. But I mean, he's still a great centre back, and it's the way Liverpool play, because they play with their wingers like their fullbacks bombing so far forward. They are going to get caught sometimes, aren't they? But I mean, if we just put Van Dijk on the old shelf for a minute, and who else have you got? You got because I'm a big fan of John Stones. Always have been. Obviously, you got Ruben Diaz, who's a great defender, unbelievable defender. You could also almost say where did he come from? And
sat on the bench most of the season, though. This season, hasn't he?
He's been injured again, hasn't he? He's been injured. And then you've got Laporte.
Solid for them.
Laporte has been quality for years. Plays left back sometimes. Like say, you could put Nathan Ake because he is technically a centre back.
Yeah,
isn't he? Really, for Bournemouth, like Chelsea, he always played centre back.
So who were your two, Andrew?
Well, as I say, I wrote down on form, so I wrote down Stones and Laporte. But if we're going to do all time, then I'd have to put Van Dijk in. I'd probably put Van Dijk in and John Stones because I'm a big fan of Stones as well.
Baron?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Do you know what? I think John Stones is with the ball, giftedly one of the best centre backs I've ever seen play. Like naturally on the ball. I know
best English ball playing centre back.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know obviously he's not there to play the ball and things like that, but it does make defences calm. I think.
Yeah, he's got that calming influence.
Yeah,
a bit like Van Dijk.
Yeah. But I would go Van Dijk and John Stones.
I went Van Dijk and Diaz.
Yeah.
I think if you ask Pep who he'd want to be fit centre back, he'd put Diaz every time.
Yeah, he probably would.
If 100% fit centre back, Diaz would be the main guy.
Oh, well,
he was great. He had that season, didn't he, where he was just phenomenal. Like, he was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if it was last season or the season before. But again, as I say, I did write mine down on current form, so I didn't even. I did consider Diaz, but because he's been on the bench and injured a lot, I didn't pick him. But if we do all time, I'd still probably go with Van Dijk, and I can see the argument for Diaz, but I like John Stones. I'm going to stick with what I put.
Baron, you sticking?
I'm sticking with Stones, yeah. And we'll let other people tell us how rubbish we are.
Stones and Van Dijk. No Diaz.
No Diaz does not make the combined 11.
Edison, Trent, Diaz out.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talent. A lot of talent in both these teams.
They probably, over the last 5 years, they've been the two best teams by miles, haven't they? By absolute.
That probably proves it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No one picked Joe Gomez, no?
No one picked Joe Gomez.
I like him on FIFA, but that's as far as it goes. Football Manager is all right.
It's all about that 81 pace.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll go 4-3-3. So we'll go with a holding midfielder.
Yeah.
I went for Rodri.
I hate him.
Although I really, really wanted to put Jordan Henderson in.
Because he nearly killed Odegaard last night.
Well, I hated him before that anyway. I just think he is just so good, but shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just doesn't look that good, but he is awesome. Does that make sense? Oh, no, it makes no sense, does it?
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a bit of a Claude Makélélé, isn't he? He's just an unsung hero. He does a job. He always does it well. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know you're gonna hate me for this, but I've never really rated Henderson. I think he has been over. Oh yeah, I think he had a couple of years where he was pretty decent. Don't get me wrong, he was good. But I mean, now he's well gone. Now I know we're not doing on current form, but I thought like even looking at him in the England game the other day, I just don't know. I'm just not
Champions League winning captain, Premier League winning captain, FA Cup winning captain.
I'm not saying he is a bad player. I'm just saying he is nowhere near the quality of Rodri. Or yeah.
I went for. Honestly, I couldn't choose, so I did put both down. So if you go Rodri, you go Rodri. I'm happy with that.
I think you have to.
I mean, yeah, I've got Rodri.
So
There wasn't really.
Holding, yeah.
Yeah, Roger is the holding. I mean, shout out to Fabinho as well. I mean, have to consider him. I mean, briefly, but yeah, I didn't go with him.
Yeah,
briefly, very briefly.
briefly.
And he's been a bit hit and miss, isn't he? He's had some good games and he's had some absolute stinkers.
Yeah,
but like consistency and thing. I think you got to go with Rodri, innit?
Yeah. Andrew, your first centre mids. I think we can all agree on one.
Yeah, let's just go with that one now. So we've got Kevin De Bruyne.
KDB.
No, doesn't really need an explanation.
Yeah.
No, I don't hate him. I don't. I rate David Silva more at the moment. But yeah, Kevin De Bruyne is unreal.
That's madness. I'm guessing Silva's your other one then.
No, because he no longer plays for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, David. Yeah, I was talking Bernardo.
Oh no, not Bernardo Silva. No.
No, I do like Bernardo Silva.
Clear that up now. Anyone watching? Yeah, no, I do not think Bernardo Silva is better than Kevin De Bruyne.
So my second one was I can't pronounce his name. Gundogan. Is that it?
Gundogan,
oh yeah. I'm not going to even pretend to try and pronounce it.
He was my other centre mid.
Yeah, I mean, you don't fancy Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain then?
You like Joey Gomez? Nah, not really.
The other shout was Thiago. I mean, I didn't write him down, but I do really rate Thiago. But I did go Gundogan as well.
When he was at like Bayern Munich and at Barcelona and all that, I thought he was an unbelievable player. But I just don't
Ridiculous.
I've never really seen it at Liverpool. I don't think
Doesn't really suit the way they play.
You don't get the time in this league to do what they want to do.
I've just never really rated him for Liverpool. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. He's won almost everything in the game. But yeah, and he's another one that always seems to be a bit injured. Maybe they should set their physios, get new ones.
I do watch a bit of the German league. Now it's on TV a lot more. It's so slow. The amount of time they have, it's like walking pace.
Yeah.
So obviously he's going to be able to do things in that league that he's just not. He ain't going to get time to do in the Premier League.
No,
yeah,
definitely.
I'm not saying he's been a bad player in the Premier League, but he's nowhere near how good he was at Munich. Nowhere near.
Yeah, fair enough. So are we going with De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan then?
Just feel like I'm forgetting someone. Who are the other Liverpool midfielders?
They ain't got any at the moment, have they?
No, yeah. I mean, you've got Harvey Elliott, who on form, I considered him on form, but
you can't he's not going anywhere near this team.
No, you have to consider him, but no, he's not getting him.
Yeah, I mean, do you not like Bernardo Silva then?
Shit.
Are we seeing Phil Foden as a winger? Are we? We're seeing Phil Foden as a winger. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I like Phil Foden as a bit of a centre attack midfielder, but
yeah.
Yeah, but that way, if we do that, he's competing with De Bruyne. If we do that,
yeah, it's true. So you're going for Gundogan or what have you say?
I've gone for him. Yeah.
Cool. So we're on our right wing, Baron.
Got to be Salah, isn't it? Or have you got him for up top?
No, I've gone Salah right wing as well.
Yeah. He's got to be in that. I mean,
Got Salah
who have they got?
Special shout out to Mahrez.
He's unlucky. Yeah, I rate him.
Nowhere near the level of Salah, but he's.
Yeah, is he?
If Salah wasn't there, he would be in.
Yeah.
Okay. You going left wing?
Andrew, who you got?
So I again did this on form, so I've written down Nunez for form.
Scribble that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have to go Foden. Yeah. For ability, it's got to be Foden.
Yeah, I think it's got.
Insane player.
Yeah. I think he's England's future, isn't he?
And probably the easiest decision of all.
Yeah.
Striker.
So what? Bobby Firmino?
Yeah.
Yes. Writing down, Baron. He's in.
He's in. Bobby Firmino. Yeah, no, gone Haaland. Yeah, then Haaland's got to be.
There's no question, is there?
No. Even if we were doing an all-time 11, I think it probably. Well, I don't know. It's a different question for a different day. Yeah, different question for a different day. Actually, let's not get into that.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, there's a lot of players.
When we were doing talking about this originally, and we were saying, "Oh, we're going to do an all-time 11 or like a current day 11." I must admit, I definitely was first for player that popped in my head was Michael Owen. I thought he's definitely going to have to start in the team.
It's hard because there's a lot of strikers, isn't it? I think because we did an all-time 11 with Man City already, the Man City Arsenal one. I think we went with a
that makes sense. Yeah, I like it. So, if people want to listen.
I just want to
go on.
I just want to chuck a curveball out. Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, who's managing?
Can I go Arteta?
No.
Okay. Vieira?
Getting back at Palace, I say.
Yeah. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Right. I think I do like Jurgen Klopp. I think he's done wonders at that Liverpool team. But if you think of where they were 10 years ago, or 8 years ago, because he's been there 8 years, to go when they were like 8th in the Premier League, struggling to even get into European competitions, and they've taken him and he's built. All right, he spent money, don't get me wrong, but he's built an unbelievable team there and won a Premier League, a Champions League, FA Cups, League Cups, won pretty much everything. I know Pep's won everything, but I just think he gets a lot of it handed to him, doesn't he, Pep Guardiola? I know he's still got to get the players to play in, but I think I might be more inclined to go for Klopp.
See, okay. I thought it was a tough one. I thought the same. Like, is Pep a bit overrated? Spends a lot of money. He's been at Bayern, Barca, Man City. Yeah. I'd probably win the league at Bayern and Barca. Man City a bit tougher in the Premier League, but I did watch the Amazon. The Man City one they done a couple of years ago. He just lives football,
lives, breathes, and
just like he sees stuff that people like us just will never see. I think he's a great manager. I don't know if he'll do it like say in the Championship with like a Swansea or something. But Jurgen Klopp probably would. So it's a bit of a tough one.
Yeah.
We'll get to see, when Man City get relegated for FFP, we'll be able to see if he can do it in the Championship.
He won't stay there. They'll be all out the door.
I didn't even look like on that larger scale. I wasn't looking at whether what he managed before. I just look at the team that we've got, and I just think that is not a Jurgen Klopp midfield that we've gone with. Like, Jurgen Klopp would not get the performance out of them. It's a controlled, dictating play midfield. I think it's definitely a Pep team that we've gone with, so I'm going to go with Pep.
And we've actually only put 4 Liverpool players in it.
Yeah.
It is a team hungly strung by Man City. Okay, we'll go with Pep.
So, who wants to read out the full team? Because I've not read it down.
I have written it down, so that if you want to listen, I can tell you.
And we get to hear Baron say Gundogan.
Oh God, I forgot about that bit. So we went with Alisson in goal, Kyle Walker at right back, with Andy Robertson at left back, with a Van Dijk and John Stones. John Stones quite questionable, I know, but I do think that is the right call. With a strong Manchester City midfield of Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and Gundogan. Is that Gundogan? Something like that. That's how I've spelled it anyway. With Salah on the right wing, Foden on the left, and the big Haaland up top, with Pep Guardiola as overall decision making of the manager.
This is me, I'm so royal, and you all wanna be round. Yeah, you all wanna be round. Round a champion, a champion. I got tons of soul on my true collective ball. Famous, so famous, number one.